Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Taurus in June 2019. What is going on, Taurus? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Ay, Dios mío. Taurus, we made it. It's June, halfway marker of 2019. How are you feeling? How's it going? Getting everything you want? Feeling good? Rolling into summer here in the northern hemisphere. Sorry, guys, in the southern hemisphere, you guys are going into winter. But maybe you like it. Maybe that's refreshing to you. Anyway, Taurus, I have shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. You can look in the description box below for the timestamp. You can also see in the description box for those returning viewers that there is a new menu there. I have said for the past couple months I was going to introduce new readings to the channel. And so you're going to see that there in the description box if you want to get a personal reading with me. There are 3 different types. You simply tell me in your email what type you want, and I will deliver that to you within 24 to 72 hours, okay? It's new information, so it might not be super clear to you, or you might have, a clarifying question to kind of, understand what to expect. So you can feel free to email me those questions as well. I have no problem with answering them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and shout out to my subscriber and client, Vanessa. She made me this lovely bracelet, which she sent me in the mail. So I really do appreciate that. So shout out to Vanessa for her continued support of my channel and my work here. I really appreciate it. She's amazing, as are other clients. So yeah, I feel the love with this wonderful bracelet. I'm into it. Thank you again, Vanessa, for the lovely gift, okay? All right, guys, let's get you your outcome and your overall. How about it? Outcome and overall energy for Taurus in June 2019. Please show me. Whoa, kind of a bulky, clunky shuffling I did there, but you got a card, so we're taking it. And it's sort of sideways, but yes, thank you. I was like, it kind of came sideways, but I was already inclined to put it up there upright, so my inclination was correct. Let's flip these guys. Let's see what else is going on. And I cut my nails. I thought far enough ahead of doing videos that they would grow back a little bit, but I was wrong. All right, Taurus, let's see what's going on in your reading, okay? Please show me Taurus's energy, or excuse me, where's Taurus in June 2019? Please show me Taurus in June 2019. Please show me. Okay, thank you. Wow. Oh. Don't like that. I don't like that method. Please don't do that again. No. Nope, not a fan of that. Okay, listen. Time out and mini break before we actually get into the reading. So, as I continue my journey in becoming a better tarot reader, becoming a little bit more spiritual and all that good stuff, I talk to my guides and we get along fine. And some of you know, recently they got into the habit of like twisting my neck in certain ways when I ask for whatever I'm asking for. Just now, they kind of poked me in my third eye area, which then when I opened my eyes, I was very dizzy. Not a fan of that way. Please don't do that way. Do the neck thing versus doing the eye thing. I don't like that. And some of you might be like, oh my God, you shouldn't talk to your guides like that. I can talk to my guides how I want. This is my experience here on Earth. They're here to help me. I don't like that. Please don't do that again. That's how I roll as a spiritual person. That's how I roll as a tarot reader, as an empathic person. You can do it your way. My guides know me, this whole personality. They understand. I'm not here for it. Anyway, so back to you, Taurus. You come into the reading here with the 8 of Cups, guys. All right, so Taurus, boy, had enough? Or are you thirsty for more? What is that from? That's like from an 80s movie. Have you had enough, or are you thirsty for more? Basically, it's go time, guys. What are you here for? Are you here for the bullshit, or are you not? And I'm feeling like most of you are not here for the bullshit. If you've just said, oh, I'm here for the bullshit, I think you're on the wrong side here. But ultimately, Eight of Cups is talking about, let's go. Let's get out of this. It's just not cool, man. I'm not happy here. This doesn't bring me joy. This doesn't spark joy. If you're like doing the Marie Kondo, cleaning up your household, you're picking up items, and there might be a tinge inside of you or someone around you saying, oh, such sentimental value with this object. You should totally keep it. Right now is not the time for sentimentality, Taurus. I feel it. I feel that it's been going on with you guys, like clinging to stuff, clinging to people, clinging to situations that you know mean you no good, that are not going to bring you what you want in life in terms of your emotional contentment, your emotional happiness, your emotional fulfillment. It's just not working. The people, the objects, the situations, whatever we're talking about, it's not working. And some of you are still on that mindset of maybe it could work. Maybe under these circumstances it could happen. What has history proven to you, Taurus? That it's working or that it's not working? Most of you are in a situation, a pattern you are seeing over and over again, proof positive. This isn't working. This isn't bringing me happiness. This isn't bringing me joy. This isn't bringing me fulfillment. So why persist with it? Why continue? Let's get the hell up out of here, is basically what this is. Now, the artwork here is pretty simple. Here's this woman ready to shop at, what does that say? Mimbles. Mimbles. I don't know if you'll be able to see it there on the card. Mimbles. Now, for those, I don't know if that was a nationwide department store, but when I was a kid, Gimbals was a real thing. Gimbals. Gimbels. Gimbals. Man, I remember that. Wow. Anyway. And maybe that means something to you. Like maybe some of you Tauruses, like since the time of Gimbals, okay, that was back in the 80s, guys. Okay, so that was, oh my God, almost 40 years ago. Jesus. So 30 plus years ago, you guys could be dealing with a situation, a person, objects. Again, I'm getting this idea of objects, like the Marie Kondo. If you guys don't know who that is, that's like that, she's this Japanese woman who has a show on Netflix, but I believe also has a show or some type of notoriety back in Japan where she helps you clean up your house, and basically she's like, hold that. Do you like that? Does it spark joy? If it doesn't, throw it in the trash. Her system is pretty damn simple. But some of you are dealing with stuff in your house, in your environment, in your life that has been around for 30 plus years, 20 years, 15 years, whatever. Long time, okay? It's been a long time that you've been dealing with this. And the time has come. Does it spark joy? If it doesn't, leave it alone. Leave them alone. Get away from it. Get it out of your house. Get it out of your environment. Whatever. Judgment call. Ooh, yes. And look at the storm in the background. Eminence. Like, you know, sometimes you see that. You know, you see a cloud pattern in the sky. You can see lightning far off in the distance. A storm's a-coming. Baby, a storm is coming. Or something like that. Oh, that meme is so funny. Anyway. So this has been brewing, stirring, going on. And you, some Tauruses out there, I'd say probably about 60% of you are still like, you see the storm coming. You see this, like, when this woman got out of that yellow car, because the yellow car has to belong to her, because she's the only thing in vibrant colors. Right? And so the car has to belong to her. So as she was driving up to that parking lot, are you meaning to tell me that she didn't see that cloud over top with the lightning coming out of it? She didn't see all those zombies lumbering around the parking lot? This broad still parked that car and got out and said, I'm going to have a lovely shopping day at Mimbles. No, you're not. Look around you. Take in the surroundings. Take in the environment. Take the temperature of the room, Mary. Be smart here. Oh God, I'm fired up. This deck, I just did Aries reading. This deck and yes, I waited on the perfect day. I was going to do this yesterday, but no, I wasn't feeling it. Today's the day. Take a look around, my friends. Take stock of your life. Take stock of the people you involve yourself with. Who is worthy? Who is not worthy? Number one, at the top of the list, who is worthy, Taurus? You are. You are. Put yourself at the top of the damn list, okay? So make yourself the priority, and what you don't like, what doesn't fit in your life, what doesn't give you what you need, what doesn't give you what you want, be done with it. And if someone is saying, or if something or someone is trying to get away from you, let them go. You know? Jeez, man. Jeez. What else is going on? Let's figure it, because I think that's pretty dead in the water, you know? I can't say much else about it, because the Eight of Cups is about pursuing what you want, pursuing what really makes you happy. You might not know what it is, but you definitely need to be prepared to walk away from what you know isn't. If it is proving, the person, the thing, the environment is proving to not fulfill you, walk away. If it keeps trying to be taken out of your life, or someone's walking out of your life, let it go. All right? What else is going on, my friends? Hard. Okay. Obviously, it's hard. I'm being a little brash with you guys, being a little harsh, so let me calm down. Because they're like, it's hard. It's hard. Okay, I get it. It's hard. Yes. Well, I'm not saying yes because I'm excited, but I'm saying yes because I see what's happening here. It's hard because what you're dealing with is has been long stable. Has been long stable. Thank you. Pick that up. There we go. King of Wands, right across from you. So on your level, in your eyesight, you know, because this is where you start, so it's right directly across from you. This person, this object, this environment, this situation is very close to your proximity, and it's at your eye line. You're very conscious of it. It's come as the King of Wands, so fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It could be someone who is one of those signs, but it's, again, more about the energy. And it could be a person, but for many of you, it's not even a person. It's like the totality of a situation or the environment that you live in. Environment is very big for someone. King of Wands. Stable. Oh, what's that word? It was just in my head. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Stable. Inventive is not the word, but that's what the utilities. Thank you. Thank you. And I look at the card. Duh. Toolbox there on the ground, right? Holding up that bone, which is equated to a wand. So, initiator energy, a creator. Thank you. A creator. That wasn't the word, but that's the feeling. Someone who, oh God, fixes things or provides something to you, like builds you up, or is a builder. Some that could be it. Like this person could be in construction or some type of trade. Okay, provider, creator. Yeah, very stable. Not the most stable. The King of coins or pentacles or in this deck hazards would be the most stable king, but the King of Wands is still very accomplished with anything they do, anything they put their hands on. If they are seeking to create it, to initiate it, to bring it to life, they will do it. So it doesn't have to be like totally construction or plumbing or anything like that. This could be a baker, for God's sakes. This could be a dancer. If I want to create the most amazing dance routine that's going to be aired, you know, at the AMAs or the Oscars, I'm going to do that shit and I'm going to do it well. But the point is, this person is very, that is the word. We finally got there. Industrious. Thank you. Whatever industry they work in, they go to the top of the class. They go to the top of the field. Even outside of a work experience. This could be socially. This person could be a great networker. Their business is just in connecting people or sourcing. What do you call that? This person could be a great HR person. My business is interviewing. I'm very good at determining who would be a good fit for this company or what company. An agent, for God's sakes. This person is just very good at what they do, whatever they do, okay? And if they are the thing or the person that is in your life but hasn't been fulfilling you, I could see how it would be a struggle to let them go or to allow them to walk off or to escape from them. They are a creator, a builder, an innovator. Very alluring, very attractive, physically and otherwise. It's like, damn, what a catch. And that, you know, I'm using these terminologies. This could be your brother, for God's sakes. This could be your best friend. It doesn't have to have this romantic connotation to it. And I feel there's not bad blood between you and this person or the situation at hand or whatever we're talking about. Again, it could be your environment. This could be your family home that was built in the 1940s. And the foundation is solid, but it needs new pipes. Or it needs a whole new electrical system. And that shit costs money. And so you could be sitting there looking at your home. This is where you grew up. This is where your family reunions happen. Barbecues, Christmases, Hanukkahs, whatever. It doesn't matter. And you just have a wealth of memories here. This is where your parents lived. This is where your parents died. And you're just like, ugh. But to gut this house, to get new walls in this house, to expand it, to do whatever, gonna cost an arm and a leg. Some of you are living amongst, or living in a house that's actually killing you, you know? Asbestos and mold and other types of things, you know, termites, infestations, whatever. The house is solid. You have great memories. It's not as if you're living on the streets, but it's a headache to live in this place. And part of you is saying, I want to keep the house. I want to work on the house. I have fond memories here, going back to the Mimbles days, the Gimbals days, right? I can't just up and leave it. But financially, you're being told it's going to cost more to fix this house, to get it up to a livable standard, to remove the mold, to remove the asbestos, to get, you know, under or get it all the walls, to fix the electrical. It's so much more money to fix it on your dime than it is to sell it, take that money and buy a new house. Some of you have that struggle, okay? That clears it up in case some of you are like, well, it's not a person. Okay, then it's probably an object or, like I said, an environment. Now, for those where it's a person, there's no bad blood. And that was my segue into the house thing. There's no bad blood. Like, sure, the house still has electric, the water still runs, and yeah, you're living your life, but Taurus, you're struggling with, does the bad outweigh the good? And the trouble is the sentimentality here. In the relationship between you and this person, between you and the relationship that you have with the physical house or the objects in the house, whatever we're talking about. You have too much sentiment, sorry to say, attached to this energy. This energy, for whatever reason, might want to leave you or needs to leave you or needs to be deprioritized in some type of way. If it's a person that you can't break ties with, family member, you know, husband, wife, whatever. If you can't break the tie or if you don't want to desire the tie, again, we need to deprioritize. We need to stop focusing and funneling all of our energy into what this person needs, wants, desires, and put that priority back on the self, okay? No bad blood. This person is not out to get you. This house is not out to kill you outrightly. It might not be helping your health, but it's not, you know, actively, you know, making your life any worse in the day-to-day, okay? But the thing about it is, which is kind of what I was getting when I was initially trying to understand and articulate what this energy is, this energy, the person, the object, whatever, is on its own path. You cannot wrangle this in. You cannot merge completely with this energy. It cannot be tamed. And as a general in the tarot, the King of freaking Wands will never be tamed. Never. Never, 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 never. Nope. Not unless it's on his terms. And I'm saying he only because it's a king. This could be a woman. It doesn't matter. There's no gender here. This energy will not be reined in. King of Wands is steadfast. King of Wands is assured. King of Wands goes to the beat of his own drum. He will not be deterred. He will not be controlled. He might work with you for a time. He might work with you in particular realms, in particular facets of your life. I can be compromising in this realm, but when it comes to this, I run the show. Very, very... very forthright when it comes to that, you know? And if that person doesn't ever articulate it to you, you can put those pieces together yourself, Taurus. Oh, boy. So that's why it's hard, because there's no bad blood. You guys get along for the most part. You guys have fond memories together, or, you know, there's sentimentality there. There hasn't been much out from this person's energy or the energy from whatever this is to harm you actively. But for some reason, you can't get fulfillment here. You keep trying and it's not working. So what do? You keep on, or do you walk off? You keep trying to pull this person back into your life, but they keep resisting you, or they keep saying, I'll come back, but only this much. I'll be around, but only this amount of time. There are lines that this person or that energy absolutely has that will not be crossed, that will not be exceeded past. And you're like, but come closer. Can't come closer, won't come closer, will not. Nope. But I want you here. Nah, I'm not coming over there. Or I'll be there, but I'm not staying. Okay? Because again, it's on its own track. The person, the energy on its own track, on its own trajectory. You can't merge the way you want to merge with that person or that energy, Taurus. You just can't, is what I'm feeling. Man, and you don't like that? And that, okay, here we go. This is going to get real specific real quick for someone. You can't because you have a baby. And I don't know why I said it that way. I apologize. Page of Wands, right beneath it. So the creation between you and this person involves a baby. You and this person have a baby together. You are the baby of this person. Maybe that's your father or your mother or your stepfather, stepmother, someone who guides you. Maybe they are your child, but there's this idea of lineage between you and this person. And there's a tie between parent and child, adult and child, leader and follower, for not the best wording, but that's kind of like opening it up. So even if you're not family related in blood, but maybe this is like your older uncle or older cousin, and you're like 20 years younger than them. Like there's a hierarchy here. And this Page of Wands energy in suit alone aims to match that King of Wands energy, or shows tendency towards that King of Wands energy, but it's still in development. It's not, it's just not there in the complexity and the mastery of the King of Wands. So this could very well talk about the child that you share with the King of Wands. They're just like their mother. They're just like their father, whatever the situation is, okay? And as much as you want to leave the King of Wands alone, or allow the King of Wands to leave your life, this Page of Wands comes around and is a reminder, oh my God, you're just like them. Even if you are divorced from this King of Wands and you see each other only in passing, or you see each other only when it comes to, going to, dance recitals or softball games or whatever it is, you see that person in your child. You see that person in yourself. If this is, that's your dad or your mom, and, you are the Page of Wands, Taurus. And it's a reflection. This Page of Wands is a reflection, a mirror. And so some of you are having this deep, mind fuck of, I want to release him or her. I have released them. We don't live together. We don't talk. I am selling the house. But, and that's not necessarily what I'm feeling here. But I am selling the house, but I'm keeping objects from the house to move into my new house. And it's like, it's weird. They're like giving me like some quantum leap kind of feeling where, again, you take, let's say, a dresser from your parents' home and you put it into your home. You put it into the room of your kid. For some reason, you're giving your kid your mom or your dad's dresser. Okay? And now your kid has inherited this reminder, this object that carries the energy or the marker of your parents. And not to say that your kid is reminding you of your parents, but there's something in their space, in the house that you reside in with your child, that still, has this leftover residue feeling from the previous home, okay? And it'll never be, not never, but it's not anywhere close to being at that same veracity or that same level as the King of Wands, this Page of Wands. but you're reminded. You can't get rid of your kid. You could get rid of the dresser, but you're not going to. You don't want to. And so here you are, regularly reminded of what has been disappointing to you. The person, the memories of losing your parents or losing the home or not being able to keep it under your purview, under your ownership, whatever. The Page of Wands is a reminder. And you can't get rid of your kid. You don't want to get rid of the dresser, whatever it is, the photo albums, whatever. So you're stuck. You feel very stuck. Especially with this being now anchored to this younger energy, newer energy. The youngness could be involved in the new experience of having a new home to live in, or your child could still be very young, and and that could be also it. Like this whole objects thing. I want to retain these objects and give them to my kids. And if your kid is like the King of Wands in some way, the King of Wands is not attached to anything he didn't create. Here we go. A little bit of clarity here on this object thing. You want to give your kids things that were passed down to you. Objects, heirlooms, mean something to you. Taurus, you're sentimental. King of Wands energy, fire energy, has the potential to be sentimental, but this King of Wands is like, I don't have attachments to anything I didn't make for myself, that I didn't buy for myself, that I didn't create for myself. So you giving your kid something that means a lot to you, they look at it and they're like, I'll keep it for your sake, but if you think when I turn into an adult and I go about my own way, I'm not keeping this shit, Mom. I'm not keeping this stuff, Dad. I'm really not. Or they're not showing interest in it. Like you could be sitting down with your young kid, with your teenager saying, okay, well, this locket belonged to great grandma and I want to give it to you. And they're like, okay. Like in this day and age, I know plenty of kids. It's not an iPad. Why do I want it? It's not a piece of technology. Why do I want it? Like the connection to the sentiment is lost with that Page of Wands for those that are dealing with objects. Okay. I don't like it because my inclination is to just say, well, I have to release the intention. I have to release the expectation that they're going to want what I want. They're going to be aligned with my desires. I easily, as the outsider, can say, release it. Just step off from that intention. It's not working for you. But you've got this Nine of Cups in reverse. I'll show you upright so you can see it better. Oh, I just now really looked at it. I'm looking in the camera here. Wow, Taurus. Oh, and it's in reverse, buddy. Listen, are you like snuggled up on the couch in a Snuggie or in your favorite fleece or throw, and you're just like, sad. My kid doesn't value my family's history. My kid doesn't show interest in continuing this legacy or possessing this object that I want to give them that belonged to my great grandma that I love, like the memory and the sentimentality that you want to pass on to your kid, they're just like tossing it out the window. In case of it not being your kid, maybe you're sad and a little disappointed over the King of Wands, right? I want to work things out with this guy or this girl. I want to make our marriage work, but they just keep walking away, or they're showing signs that they don't want to, you're just like going through it. And the Nine of Pentacles. Did I say Nine of Pentacles? I meant Nine of Cups. If I said Pentacles, I'm sorry. Nine of Cups is talking about, or when it's in the upright, it talks about wish fulfillment. If you had it in the upright, we would see some type of progress between the 8 and the 9. If it was upright, the 8 is already troubled waters. The 8 is already kind of initiating change, initiating some type of upheaval or some type of, not alteration, but a little bit of a not sidestep. How am I, what is this? Step. No, I can't think of the word. It starts with an A and it's not coming in my head. Not coming to my head. But anyway, if it was upright, you would have had an ascension. You would have had a step up from an 8 to a 9. We would have seen progress. But this 9 has come reversed. Not fulfilled. Again. What you desire, what you're wishing for, it's not working. And okay, here we go. Caveat. Thank you. Cleared up. Thank you. It's not working the way you envisioned. Here we go. Fixed sign energy. Got it. Taurus. From one fixed sign to another. When we have plans, ideas, things that we want to go a certain way, and they don't go according to plan entirely, we think the whole thing is a wash. We think the whole thing is messed up. Caveat lesson that we fixed signs need to learn is that it's not always, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, basically. Okay? So let's say there are 10 things on your dream wish list, right? And life has given you, circumstance and other people have given you 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 of the things that you want. Is it a complete loss? It would be hard to convince a fixed sign energy that it's not all lost. It would be so hard to be like, hey man, 7 out of 10, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's not bad. You're like, nah man, but those 3 missing things, those are really important. There's this idea or this feeling for you, Taurus, that everything is lost. And I kind of came in, I will admit, I did kind of come in with that energy of screw it all. Fuck everybody. When I was talking about that 8 of Cups energy for you, I feel there's a drastic needing to let things go or accept things as they are that you might struggle with. Because the 7 out of 10, here we go, thank you. Because we talked a little bit about time there with that Gimbals thing. If you've been wanting something for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, the same 10 things, and you keep getting 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, you never get the full 10, you need to get a new list of things that you want. Does that make sense? So maybe you don't throw all of it out. You alter. Is that the word I wanted? Alter? Could have been, or no, I think I said augment, whatever. You change it a little bit. You augment the wish list. You reprive it or edit it, okay? But with that 9 of Cups in reverse, I think you get stuck in a loop of I want what I want and it's not coming out the way I want it, so the whole thing is lost. Or the whole thing, some of you are victimizing yourselves. Oh, I'm not getting what I want. The universe is against me. God is against me. My parents are against me. Against me, against me, against me. Some of you are victimizing yourselves and I'm like, ugh, not here for that. Don't victimize yourself here. Wise up to the game, Taurus, is kind of what I'm feeling. Wise up to the game. Some of you need to think about, well, not need to think about, but I would suggest thinking about manifestation, power of attraction. If you're not into that, power of prayer, if you're into that, something like that. And really reframing your mind or reframing what you desire. If you keep saying, just as an example, this is just an example. If one of the things that you've always desired was, and I know we talk about houses, but I'm not really big on the terminology with houses. So let's change it to a car. You want a BMW. I want a BMW. And you're like, and you have a specific type. I don't even know the types, but or model, I should say. You're like, I want that BMW. And every year you're like, I can't get it, I can't afford it. Or, you had a big cost in your health, medical bills, so everything that you had saved up to get that BMW was wiped out, and you're just like, the universe is against me. Luck is not on my side. Perhaps, instead of wanting a BMW, you could just say to the universe, say to God, say to yourself, I want a reliable car. I want a reliable source of transportation that looks good, but is feasible financially in my life. Something I could afford now and for the next 10, 15 years. Maybe that equals a Hyundai. Hyundais make decent cars, they're reliable. Or Hondas, whatever. Might not be the make of the car that you want. You wanted this fancy European sports car or sports sedan. But maybe you get an Asian sports sedan. Point is, from my perspective as the outside person looking in, it's 4 wheels and it moves. Go on, get it. Or, you know, allow that to come into your life. You might have to change your expectation. Now, you're a Taurus, right? Ruled by Venus, very much into the idea of luxury. Not saying you're all out there, it's gonna be a BMW or nothing. No. But there are some times, Taurus, where you set the bar so high, where you're like, oh my God, it has to be this or nothing else. That's where a fixed sign, not just you, Taurus, but all the fixed signs can get into trouble. I've set this bar so high, I can't even get over it. How can I expect other people, how can I expect fortune or situations to meet that expectation if I myself can't obtain it? Okay? So that's what I'm seeing in terms of augmenting things. And, okay, thank you. So going back to the kid, real quick. The heirloom that you give to your kid. They take it, they throw it in a drawer, and you think, oh, they don't like it. They hate it. No. Maybe your kid is too young to appreciate it for now. And 2, they could be tucking it away, putting it in a drawer or in a box up in their closet to keep it safe. For you, it was your great-grandma's or your mother's, whatever. You displayed it on your dresser drawer or on your bureau or on your jewelry rack or whatever. Prominent. You get up every day, you see it. For the kid, they don't know what to do with it yet, so they tuck it away. Or they don't want it to get trashed in their room of craziness that kids have in their room, so they put it in a safe place, in a dark, contained box, because they don't want to damage it. Reframe how you see what your kid does with that object, okay? Or just ask them for clarity. How come you put great-grandma jeans, blah, 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 in a box? Why'd you do that? Oh, I don't want it to get dirty. Boom! Boom! Revelation. They have thought about it. They don't want to damage it. They do take into account, oh my God, this is like a big thing that I am being given this by my parents. I should take care of it. But since I'm a little bit of a Tasmanian devil right now, I can't leave it out on my dresser. I can't leave it out on my desk. I've got to put it somewhere safe. Okay? Boom. Let's move on, guys. We have been here for a minute. All right, guys, you have a triplet. If you've been here before, you know what that means. But if you're new, I'll explain it really quickly. All my readings that I do in general are 6-card spreads, but sometimes we get a double out in one position, which turns into a triplet. The triplet sometimes supplements or complements the main story that we talked about out here, or sometimes it's a different story. I haven't looked down here. I don't know. So let's find out together, shall we? What we got? Well, then. Oh, this is tripping me up. I don't get that. Wow. Okay. That's really like on the nose. Now that I'm looking at the whole, okay. Instead of explaining it to you, let me go ahead and show it to you. So you got the star card here, major arcana card for Aquarius of significance, but doesn't have to be. But I mean, look at what this is. I was talking about like a jewelry, like a pendant or like a necklace or something with this object being bestowed from you and now you to your kid. Now look at this. We have a medal, a military medal. I haven't even looked at what it says. What does it say? Zombie Slayer Medal of Honor. Okay, so a Medal of Honor. So some of you are giving your kids, like your dads or your relatives, even your mothers, like military regalia. Like this was grandpa's, he fought in the war. And I know, maybe your kid is showing like interest in the military or interest in, I don't know. Oh, you love Fortnite so much. Maybe you want to hold this medal. I don't know. And you're like wanting your kid to take care of this thing. So some of you are literally giving this to your kid. Or some of you are in military families, okay? Oh, on it up. But like a lineage of military life. And that could kind of talk back here about the King of Wands being on his own trajectory. So maybe your husband or your brother or your sister or whoever are on their own trajectory, and you guys will always be connected, but their lifestyle, because to me, personally, my sister is a Marine, so I get it. The Marines, or not the Marines, the military is not only an occupation, Not only a career, a job, or something that supplies people with a way of sustaining themselves. It is also a lifestyle. My sister and I are soulmates. We get along wonderfully. I love her to death. But there are some things that she and I don't align on because she is a part of that lifestyle. She's on her own trajectory that is tied to her career. Like, it informs some of her personality, or has shaped some of her personality. She's been in there, God, almost 10 years now, yeah? So it's really become a part of her that I feel will always keep her on her own path, away from me, in some ways, distance-wise, obviously, because of her career, or because of, being stationed wherever she is. So distance-wise, keeping her away from me and the rest of my family, but also just in her ideals, in the way that she views the world. So that could be something that some of you are struggling with, who have military families, or you yourself, Taurus, are part of the military. Like, maybe, you are a parent in the military and you are called away to go to duty, or you're, having to pack up your home. And could that be it with this idea of home? Because you're away, your family home is like falling apart. And that could be you, Taurus, the King of Wands, in this case. I want to go home. I want to take care of my family home, but based on my salary here in the service, I'm not able to work on it, or because I'm, stationed in Hawaii, or stationed in, South Korea or whatever, I can't be there to take care of this home that belonged to my parents and their parents, and so on and so forth. So there's this idea of lineage, again, tied to some military service, importantly for many, not many of you, but a good portion of you. I shouldn't even say a good portion. Some of you is what I should say. Some of you might have this military thing. Now, the star, beyond the imagery of this metal, is talking about destiny, talking about following the guiding light in the stars. So that could be, your beliefs in astrology and tarot and the metaphysical and all that stuff, or it could be your belief in Buddhism, could be your belief in Judaism, or whatever you believe in. There's this idea of, how am I functioning in life here on earth, and how is that aligned with what is written for me in the stars, what is written for me in the book of life, what is destined for me, or what is before me through the grace of God. However you think about it. It's important to you. It's foundational. It's here on the bottom. And a lot of you, here we go. Now I see it. It makes sense now. Thank you. A lot of you are defensive of it. Not in a bad way, though. 7 of Wands. So some of you might have discussions where you're defending your beliefs about what your life entails, what the life of your family entails, the history, the legacy, whatever path or journey you're on. You might have to defend yourself. And again, not in a bad way. Or you might be put on the defensive, is kind of how that's coming along. People might challenge you. Well, oh God, this is getting serious. Here we go. Tying a little bit, and this is very general. I'm hoping you're able to apply in an allegory sense this idea of military to your life, even if you're not in the military. But say you are, for those who are. You're in the military, you do this. And maybe you're a religious person or a spiritual person, whatever. And you might be challenged by someone. Maybe even your kid. You're giving your kid the medals of your great-grandpa or whoever, and you're like, your kid might challenge you with a question. Mommy, Daddy, is war bad? Well, it's a necessary evil, and da-da-da, do people die in wars? Like, you get into this discussion. And then the backdrop, your kid knows, but we're a religious family. We go to church every Sunday. We, the pastor talks about loving everybody, da-da-da-da-da, and your kid might come to you with questions. So if we are this, if we believe that this is how we should treat people, how come you, or how come Daddy, or how come Uncle James, or whoever is in the military and gets involved in war? Not actively trying to challenge your beliefs, but is curious about your beliefs and how you, excuse me, how you rectify or reconcile what you do or whoever's in the military, how they conduct themselves in their career versus how they behave out here in the layman's world. We're just making trips to Walmart. We're going to a fundraiser for the church, blah, 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 blah. But daddy is also stationed in Iraq right now. It's kind of weird. Just 1 second. Hold on. All right, sorry. Excuse me. Didn't want to have a coughing fit in your guys' ears. But you see what I mean? So there's like an unintentional challenge coming from your child. Or maybe you did this when you were a kid and you questioned your parents about their role in a war and something like that. And again, if it's not military, if it's not divisive or or kind of taboo or debatable, whatever, there is this idea of what is, from your perspective, destined and a part of this grander scheme of life, and it comes under a microscopic investigation of sort, or questioning, not an investigation, but questioning. And so some of you might have not second thoughts, but you might have new recollections, new ideas, a new mindset when it comes to these questions, and you might, I don't want to say reconsider your destiny, because that's not it. I don't think that's it. You might, there we go, thank you. What I was saying back here with the list. You might think your destiny is made up of X, Y, Z. In my life's book, in my life's journey, these are the things I'm probably going to do. These are the things that I do value. These are the things that I want to carry forth in a legacy with my kids. X, Y, Z. After conversations, after considering, with the Seven of Wands, it could be debates with other people. It could be a little bit, it's the 7 spiritual, so it could be spiritual upheaval. You're in council with your pastor or your rabbi, or you're getting, you might be transitioning, some of you, from one religious perspective to another, or a religious perspective or history in your family to a less religious one, and a little bit more open-ended, so to speak. And so 7s indicate spirituality, is why I'm going on that tangent there. So a little bit of a challenge there. You have a heavy one. You have a heavy reading, my friends. The 7 of Wands, this particular 7 of Wands, is not as contentious as I feel the traditional depiction can be. Like, this is very, as you can see, this guy's got his hands up. He's like, this is all coming on way too strong. And that could be it. The question from your child, or the questions that are coming into your mind, or revelations that you're having, like, it's out of left field and you don't know what to make of it. You're like, oh man, am I becoming this? Even though historically in my family, or throughout, the last 20, 30 years of my life, I've been thinking this thing, this particular way. Now I'm thinking, oh, a different way. So again, you might have this idea that your destiny, or your path is consistent of X, Y, Z, and you might go, oh, I've also got a J in there, or, oh, now I've got X, Y, Z, D, and X, or T. You're like adding things, or maybe you take the X out. All right, I've got YZ as a part of my destiny. X is gone. I'm not really caring much about X anymore. And now, oh, I like E. You're like reshuffling and reprogramming, for lack of a better word, but reorganizing, restructuring what your path might be. Quickly now, because I rambled a bit, but that's par for the course around here, guys. Page of Cups right above it. So here's that child influence here. You've got a Page of Wands and a Page of Cups. So some of you have, more than one child. You've got quite a couple of kids, quite a pair, or quite a divergent energy. Because this Page of Wands, again, is like that mirror energy. You're seeing yourself, or you're seeing your father, or you're seeing the other parent of your kid in them. There's a reflection here. Here we have a different type of reflection. The Page of Cups is very curious. Very whimsical energy. It does not have to be a kid, but this is like, since I talked a lot about, you know, a kid coming and asking you, why are we this? But then that happens and you're like, you know, you have like one of those little like bombs go off in your parental brain. Hey, how about some ice cream? Because you really can't answer your kid's question in that time. Like, a simple question from a child can often be so complex or involve such a complex, convoluted answer. That's kind of what this kid brings to you. Very, very innocent, very, I wonder this, mommy, daddy, can you answer this? And they just stand there, eyes wide, waiting to be answered. So how come that? And they wait, because they want to know. And this kid, could be the same kid, or it could be one of a different child. And it doesn't have to be a child, you know, it could be a teenager or whatever. But they want to know because they're developing emotionally. Thank you. All children are, but there's a particular sentimentality, a potential sensitivity, thank you, to this kid. They might not cry every 2 seconds, but they are very emotionally aware or adept. They've got a big heart, even if they don't show it. Like, you know, I don't have kids myself and I'm not around kids a lot, but I think it's pretty rare that by the time a kid is an adolescent, that you or they don't know some of the foundations about that person. Like, I myself, I don't know if you guys can tell, I can be a little abrasive in my communications. I can be very direct, but I'm also sensitive. Like, people might not, and if you really know me as the real person, that's not a revelation. I have a hard exterior, but a ooey gooey center. So that's like what I'm kind of getting with this energy a little bit, for some of them, not all of them. The point is, emotionally, this person is still kind of testing the waters, getting a barometer read, really trying to understand the world from that emotional perspective. You know, again, how can we claim to follow a God or a religion or practices that preach about love and respect and acceptance, but then in our family, we have people that to some extent could be seen as being in line with a profession that hurts people. If your 9-year-old is asking you that, it probably throws your weekend off. Like, damn, why did that kid have to ask us that? I just wanted to go out and have pizza for the afternoon, and now I'm sitting here trying to have, you know, ethical debates with my 9-year-old. It's like weird. And that to me speaks to a lot of your whole emotional dissatisfaction or struggle that you're having, Taurus, where you think things are supposed to go a certain way. There's certain expectations that you have, and they're not being met. It's not a total upheaval. It's not like, you know, fatalistic or anything like that. It's just really more of a challenge than you may have been prepared for. Okay? Ooh, that was gross. Excuse me. Your outcome, Taurus. 10 of Cups. Well, that's good. Some of you are going on vacation. Interesting. I chose this deck for a reason, because the imagery here really spoke to Aries reading, and it's also speaking to yours. So I've talked a lot about military and war and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, not necessarily that this is depicting that, but look at what's going on in the background. Across the ocean there, across the sea there. Some meltdown, you know, fallout situation, and then this lovely scene here with this mother and her kids on a beach. So some of you are experiencing that. Your partner or someone in your family is away in a war zone, and you and your kids are playing on the beach, you know, trying to make, you know, the best out of a not so great situation. Some of you, when your partner comes back from being deployed, you have a big vacation, going to Disney World, Disneyland. We're going to go on a cruise, something like that. There's this idea of rest, relaxation. Oh, the dad is there too. I totally didn't see it. Because I'm looking in the camera and I couldn't see the correct perspective, but the father is there too. So there is this idea of the family unit together having a good time after or away from some type of turmoil, okay? Now, again, for some of you, that is because someone's coming home. Congratulations. Yay, yay, yay. I'm here for it. I am. Others of you, because I've been military heavy, and obviously not everybody here is going to be military families or associated with it. This upheaval that we really talked about between the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Cups, and having a consistent or constant relationship with the King of Wands, even if things aren't always copacetic, I feel that that's here. So maybe some of you, after a divorce or a separation, or people moving out and then, you know, maintaining two separate homes, or, you know, maybe after having to sell that not dilapidated, but that degrading family home to find a new home. That could be what this is talking about. That home that belonged to your parents and their parents before them, you know, that's off in the distance. It's in the rear view mirror at this point. And now we move on forward, and maybe now we move to, maybe you were living in a rural area where there were no beaches, and now you live close to the beach, you know, something like that. Now, the Ten of Cups in general talks about happy family, happy life, dreams come true, yeah? As an outcome, I like that for you, because I feel there is some type of resolution here, where I think for a while you had no resolution, or you had no clear sight of what you could do to rectify a situation, or you had no clear sight on how a situation was going to play out. And so you've been kind of, you know, shooting in the dark here. I think the Ten of Cups also can link back to the Star a little bit, because the Star also, again, not only about destiny, but can talk about healing, intense emotional healing between yourself and others, but particularly of the self. And if, Taurus, you've been struggling emotionally, there is some healing out there for you in whatever form you need it. You know yourself better than I do. You seek it. Once you seek it, hopefully you can come to this calmer, peaceful, happier spot with the Ten of Cups, okay? Overall energy, oh wow, all these pages, tons of kids around. So again, I don't have kids. It's hard for me to relate to children, but here they are. So Page of Hazards, aka Page of Pentacles. And by the way, I didn't mention it. I did mention it for the wand. So fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Cups energy, water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And now we have the Hazards, aka Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I've said basically every sign in the damn zodiac except for the air signs, so it doesn't matter. That's just for illustrative purposes and educational purposes. But the tendency with the Page of Hazards, aka Pentacles, is quiet, demure, smart, studious, and aims to please. Aims to please. Was this you as a kid, Taurus, with your parents, or is this kind of your own kid? I don't know, but there's this due diligence here, you know, little zombie paperboy, for God's sakes. You know, zombies are in the business of brains and human flesh. This guy, he's got a paper route. So there's this idea of rising to expectations and exceeding them, or stepping outside of a box that was already prescribed to you. As a little zombie kid, you're supposed to desire to eat people's brains. This little kid wants to run a paper route. Why? We're zombies. We have no need for money. So there's this idea in your overall reading, Taurus, breaking from tradition a little bit, or setting out to create a new tradition, a new type of zombie. I'm conflating things here, but I hope you can follow me. Because we did have that a little bit here, where I said to you, the Page of Wands is like the King of Wands, but not entirely. Like a mirror, a reflection. It's not the same. Similar, but not the same. The Page of Cups, precocious, questioning, curious, okay? Here, setting up new foundations, setting up new groundwork, new ways of performing a certain task or performing a certain role in a situation or in a family dynamic. So the pages, even though they lack experience, they are full of creation. They are full of potentiality. The kings, the queens, they're very structured. They're very settled. The pages, they're going to find their own way. And maybe as an overall energy, that might be something that is at the core of your situation, Taurus. You find your own way, your kid finds their own way, someone else in your family finds their own way, and that is kind of maybe the destiny. We pass the baton along and we see an evolution in the family. We see an evolution in our considerations, in our belief systems, in our morals, whatever we're talking about. Okay? Taurus, I have talked at you so much. You're the longest reading. You're the second one, but you're the longest so far. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video if you saw something here that resonated with you today. Leave comments below. You guys know I love to read that stuff. You can also share this across your social media platforms or with other people on YouTube. That would be amazing. And of course, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. If you keep coming back, or maybe this is your first time, you had a great time here, whatever your reasoning, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. You'll see when I upload and all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. I'm going to do the mid-Junes again. I'm enjoying doing the mids. They're different energies usually than what we talk about in the overall for the month. So that's kind of cool. I like that different take on what's going on. And then I am going to do a random at some point. Who knows when. But I want the energy to be right. I want the mood to hit me right. So when that happens, you'll see that as well if you're subscribed. Or if not, maybe you'll find it by scrolling through Facebook through YouTube, okay? All right, Taurus, I will see you guys soon in the mids, and then, of course, after that, July, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Take care.